My name is Hayley. I'm an artist and I'd like to talk to you on Life, the Basic Manual. Today I want to discuss doing art round the kitchen table, one of my favourite occupations. I do art in a little room in my house. I love doing it. I get immersed in this room. You can probably see things behind me. I like to put up lots of ideas, pictures from other people, and just surround myself with ideas and colours and thoughts of my own projects. So this is my art room, but I do work a lot on the kitchen table. For a start, it's bigger. The kitchen table for me is symbolic in people's houses. It is a place where people meet and talk, and generally you can sit 4 to 6 people around a table and you can spread things out. So if I have friends or children over, we're always around the kitchen table. And what I have discovered in the last few years is that by sitting down with people and doing art, people start talking and people start communicating things about themselves, perhaps things they're thinking about, worrying about, and it all comes out in a slightly therapeutic manner whilst doing some art. So in my mind, art is an incredibly valuable tool for everybody. I am somebody who thinks everybody has creativity in them, be it filmmaking, be it cooking, be it, I don't know, reading, writing. It doesn't have to be visual. But what I really like to encourage is that people play. So another part of my art which is really important and that I feel is very important for people to learn or experience is that playfulness, is trying to let go of creating something on this white piece of paper that is the perfect picture, that looks great. It's terribly hard to, when you have an idea in your head, to translate it. I mean, I have that problem all the time when I'm doing my art. I have ideas in my head. How am I going to communicate it? And it takes me quite a long time, and I usually fiddle about on different pieces of paper. What I do encourage people to do is draw anything and everything on bits of paper, and you can always redo them, collage them, put them together, trace them, you know, and just get ideas out there instead of sitting and looking at a blank piece of paper and trying to form the perfect image, because I don't think any artist does that. I think the playing with ideas is the important, for me, that is the important part of the process. When I finish a piece of art, I'm actually not particularly interested in it anymore. It is actually the journey of making it that I really love doing. And doing it around a kitchen table with people, I was round at a friend's house this summer in the back garden, at the garden table, a very similar space, and we were painting stones. And she was sitting there really worrying about, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I just sort of carried on, somehow just carried on making something next to her. Her son was doing something, and children are very good at being quite uninhibited with their work. And eventually, lo and behold, she was beavering away on these stones, and she had all these pastel colours, and it completely communicated her. It was absolutely perfect. You know, it wasn't contrived, it was authentic, and it expressed a part of herself that I could see, knowing her as a friend. So for me, that is success. That is a really successful moment, and she was clearly enjoying herself. I mean, I think that is, for me, key. Art does not have to be angst-ridden. It doesn't have to be an intellectual game. I'm not overly concerned with creating a message. There are things in my work that are symbolic, that there are things that express my life or my heart, but I'm not expecting people to see that. That is not what I'm trying to create. I'm just trying to express myself. And I think some of the best art is people who are being true to themselves and expressing something close to their heart. Working at the kitchen table is always really good fun, because you can spread everything out. You can get multiple images, multiple bits of paint and pastels and different media. I'm a big fan of trying different media out because I think that is really important to what you're doing. Sometimes it will work as a tiny picture, sometimes it will work as a massive piece of colour. It's trying out different scale, different media to express what you're doing, and that takes time as well. So for me, spending a day at the kitchen table is really important to working towards a piece of art. And for people that sit around the kitchen table, we're all creating together. There's a really lovely feeling of doing work, not necessarily with somebody. We could be doing different pieces of work, but somehow that act of actually working next to each other is really important. And I think, without getting really hippie about it, the vibes, the kind of creative vibes, kind of with a cup of tea. The tea is very important, or the juice, or the biscuits, a little bit of refreshment going on, a little bit of chat going on, and it creates this wonderful kind of cocktail of creativity and energy that I think lightens people. You know, when I sit and do this sort of thing with adults, with children, there is a lightness to it. There is a playfulness about it that allows people to just be free of stuff going on in their brain or their head. It's not a thinking, for me, it's not a thinking process necessarily, it's a doing. It's a doing process. It's allowing something to just be communicated without thinking too hard.